video we are going to make a cutout for a sink in one worktop and a hob in the other worktop. These jobs are very similar, but there are slight differences, hence showing both. To start with, we will make the cutout for the sink. This is noted on the plan here and is positioned over the 900mm base unit. The hob is positioned over the 600mm drawer unit. I have already cut the worktop to length and fitted the edging strip. This has been covered in other videos which I'll link to in the description. I have turned the sink upside down and have placed it onto the worktop. You can see that I've opened the door on the base unit so that I can position the sink in the exact correct position. Now I'm using a steel rule to measure the distance at the front of the sink and at the rear of the sink. The sink needs to be positioned so that the bowl of the sink will not cause any issues with the handleless trim at the front. Also, the tap does not want to be too close to the wall. Once I'm confident that the sink is in the right position, I'm carefully marking around it using a pencil. I'm not installing the hob or sink as they are being fitted by the electrician and the plumber, so I'm just doing the cutouts. I've now moved the worktop onto the trestles and I'm now marking a line on the inside that is 10mm away from the outline. I am marking this using a permanent marker as this will be the cut line. Now I'm using a wet wipe to wipe off the original pencil line. You should check your instructions with your sink as they might provide a template or it might require the cut line to be a different distance from the outside marked line. I'm now drilling 4 holes using a 3mm drill bit. This hole will go all the way through the worktop and is roughly 15mm away from the line. I have now switched over to a flat wood bit and I'm drilling roughly halfway through the worktop. Now I have turned the worktop over and we'll drill from this side until we have a hole all the way through the worktop. I do it this way because flat wood bits do not work well on worktops and can cause large breakout holes when you break through the surface. Now I've fitted a fine cut blade to the jigsaw, I can insert this blade into the holes and proceed to cut out following the black line. It does not matter which way up the worktop is when cutting, providing you are using a jigsaw blade with fine teeth. A blade with aggressive teeth will make a mess of the veneer and chip it quite badly. This jigsaw has 3 settings for the pendulum action. For cutting this worktop I have set it to the first pendulum setting. This causes some vibration but speeds up the cut considerably. Once you get so far, the cutout section will need supporting. If you have a spare trestle you can use that, or you can clamp a piece of timber to the underside like I have done here. We can now remove the cutout once all the lines have been cut. We then just need to trim off any bits that are in the way. We can now clean up some of the dust and check that the sink fits. If your sink drops through the hole, you forgot to measure and draw the inside line, in which case you'll need a new worktop. You have to be really careful moving this worktop now, so never try to lift it up flat or it could snap in half. Tip the worktop up carefully and get it on its side as fast as possible, then carefully place it onto the kitchen base units. Once it's in position, you can use it as a template to draw on the base unit carcass, as some of this will need cutting away. Carefully remove the worktop and place it somewhere safe, ensuring that it won't snap in half. Then proceed to cut out the base unit. Once all cuts have been made, all cut edges on the carcass and on the worktop need sealing with external grade wood glue or a suitable sealer. That's the sink sorted. Now we need to do the hob. The 600 drawer unit has a support at the front, but we need to cut almost 90% of that away in order to get the hob in. So the easiest option is to remove it completely. So I'm putting several additional screws from the two adjoining units into the drawer unit. I can now cut away the front support using the jigsaw and can remove it. I've now put the worktop in position and I've placed the hob on top, just to eye it up and get it in the right position. The handleless trim makes this more difficult, as that takes up a couple of centimetres at the front of the worktop, although it looks like there is plenty of room. If you reach inside, you can mark the sides of the unit onto the worktop. This will then ensure that the hob is in the correct position when we come to mark it. I've now removed the worktop and I've placed it upside down on the trestles. You can see the two pencil lines on the underside. Luckily, I have managed to find instructions for this exact hob, so now I have the cutting dimensions. I am marking these out in between the two lines that I have already drawn. I'm now drilling 4 holes using a 3mm drill bit. This hole will go all the way through the worktop and is roughly 15mm away from the line. Now I have turned the worktop over. I have now switched over to a flat wood bit and I'm drilling roughly halfway through the worktop. Now I have turned the worktop over and we'll drill from this side until we have a hole all the way through the worktop. I can now proceed to cut this out with the jigsaw and fine tooth blade. Again, I'm using a couple of clamps and a piece of scrap timber to support the cutout. Once the line has been fully cut out, we can remove the cutout piece. Again, you need to be really careful when lifting the worktop as it could snap where the cutout has been removed. Now a quick clean up of all the dust. We can then check the cutout is in the correct position before sealing the cut edges with exterior grade wood glue or suitable sealer. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching.